A view of the Denver, Colorado Civic Center in the mid-1950s. One of the reasons Denver is called Queen City of the West, the care taken to make it attractive to the visitor's first time in town. While Civic Center may look much the same today, that would not be the case in the view from the D&F Tower. This is how it looked in the 50s, when the tower was part of the Daniels and Fisher's department store. Stapleton Field was the commercial airport in those days, much closer into town and quite a bit more cramped than today's DIA, Denver International Airport. But I'm sure that while the city has enlarged and modernized in the years since I lived there, much of the natural beauty of the parks and open spaces are pretty much the same today. The Colorado State Capitol Building is located across from the City Civic Center. This is, again, the view from the time I lived there, but I'm sure it is much the same today. In this photo, the dome is plated in gold leaf, a contribution of the mines of Colorado. But my life of 1953 to 57 wasn't being stuck just in Denver, far from it. Whenever I could, I climbed into my trusty 51 Plymouth and headed to the countryside, to the mountains. I don't know what the situation is today, but then getting off the beaten path was in many cases getting off the paved highway. You take your time to really enjoy the scenes unfolding around you. Here in the bright mountain air, the mountains themselves look so close you think you could walk right up to them, though they may be a mile or more away. Come autumn, Jack Frost adds its own splash of color. The Rocky Mountain fall is like no other in the country and is considered by many to be the best season of the year. To really get the feel of this country, you must get out on the trails. The Forest Service and the National Park Service keep a network of hundreds of miles of trails throughout the state. In the natural course of events, winter settles upon the land. Snow-covered slopes call out, beckoning the hardy and adventurous, for this is the time of the skier. And so these hills become crisscrossed with ski trails, affording the user new dramatic vistas and panoramas of these ever-changing, shining mountains. Well into spring, these higher mountains are still covered with the white stuff, but the seasons march on, and with them the opening of the summer trails in this land of soaring ridges and forest-covered canyons. I found getting off the main highways and taking the backcountry roads and trails, spectacular view after view would come up. Then, in 1957, I move on over the cross-country highway of the time. But the memories of those last 4 years in the Colorado Wonderland will always be with me. It's a befitting end of my time in this state of scenic wonders, sending me off with one of the glorious sunsets and A last look of the sparkling jewels of Denver at night.